Thank you for joining the MIID webinar series. Today we'll be talking with Holly Jones on the Wellness Project. I'll let Holly take a minute to introduce herself and give us a little background about her project and the things that she has done for this. Just some housekeeping things. This is a recorded webinar, so CEUs are not approved. However, this webinar is approved for annual HRC Human Rights Committee training. Holly?
Thanks, Beth. Thanks for having me here. My pleasure to do this. So a little bit about myself. You might know me from the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, where I serve in the Office of Children and Families. But personally, I also am very much interested in wellness as a general topic. So by putting together my experience and background, both from a mental health perspective and through the ideas of wellness, I wanted to share the Wellness Project. So today I'm hoping to share with you what I've learned through Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. If you're not familiar with that, it's a system developed by Rodney Yee and Colleen Sedman Yee, originally for people in hospitals dealing with pain, anxiety, nausea, insomnia, and constipation. And we refer to that as the panic model. It's a system of layering techniques that include body awareness meditation postures, seated postures and supported postures, rhythmic movements, therapeutic essential oils, and Reiki, which is a gentle touch. They quickly realized that the modalities are appropriate for a wide variety of issues and challenges. In Ohio, Urban Zen has been integrated at the Wexner Heritage Village, Wexner Medical Center, OSU James, Talbot Hall, Ronald McDonald House, and a few yoga studios offer public classes. As I mentioned, the Wellness Project is a program I'm developing to integrate the social science information and teaching from the mental health field, along with practical tools from the yoga therapy field, to provide simple self-care tools applicable for anyone. So here's the agenda for this session and a little disclaimer. So some of the content may be familiar and some of it will be new. Some of it may seem a little abstract. My only request is that you keep an open mind. Think of this as a taste test. You might enjoy some things and you might not enjoy everything. It's all individual and it's just fine. And please notice that maybe the best part of this session is that if you fall asleep, it's just fine. So now let's take a look at the science. This picture is the body's nervous system. When the sympathetic system is activated, we see that the bodily functions are either working very hard or shutting down. So think of a time when you felt nervous or anxious, maybe not a life-threatening situation, but the symptoms may present as if it were life-threatening. And this stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. So some symptoms might be a dry mouth or a rapid heartbeat. You might have that nervous gut feeling, a dysregulated body temperature, you might be sweaty, or you might have shaky palms or shaky voice. And now think of when you feel most safe and secure. Some of those symptoms would be that you have a soft belly, normal breath, normal heart rate, regulated body temperature and functions. This allows the parasympathetic nervous system to function optimally. So we need both to help protect us. So this shows the balance between the two branches of the nervous system. As the parasympathetic system dominates, the rest and digest is activated. At times, we need the fight or flight response system to get out of a dangerous or uncomfortable situation. Our body has a heightened arousal state and produces the hormone cortisol to signal us to prepare and take action or to freeze. If there's too much time in a heightened arousal state, this can put too much stress on our adrenals, and our physical or our mental health may suffer. This next slide shows a graph of the polyvagal theory. It's showing the arousal states from activation to deactivation. On the graph, flight or fight are in the middle, or the red zone, and this is where the sympathetic nervous system prepares us for action, to move through a stressful event or to get away. The blue zone is the freeze state, where our system is overwhelmed and we might shut down. Both of these reactions serve a purpose and protect us from potential danger. The goal of wellness is to notice times when we are in the green zone and to practice being engaged with the present so that when we have a red zone or a blue zone situation or feeling, we can draw upon our reserves of green zone and know that we will get through it. Flexibility is the ability to return to baseline. Sometimes you won't be able to change your body's reaction to a situation. For example, the nervousness may still cause a dry mouth or a fast heart rate. But with practice, using tools like the ones we'll cover here, the intent is to become flexible and trusting that you can move through the situation and then return to your baseline. So these are the layers of wellness that we'll explore here. The body constantly communicates with us, whether we notice the messages consciously or not. When we're out of balance, we aren't able to notice, and then the body reacts by sending stronger signals. For example, that gut feeling, if it's left unchecked, it may progress into indigestion or a stuck feeling. Our bodies are busy with constantly digesting all sorts of materials, besides just the food we eat. For example, taking in information, processing other people's energy. Think of a time when someone you were with left you feeling drained. This is why it's important to bring the body into stillness for the rest and digest process, so that all the external stimuli that we encounter throughout our busy days can be assimilated or released. Some of the ways to bring wellness into our bodies are active, like walking or other movement, choosing foods that serve our personal health, and some are passive and just require that we tune in, such as noticing the body's sensations, observing our breath, etc. One example for passive practice on your own, so the next time before you have a meal, take a minute to notice the food on your plate and appreciate the colors and the aroma, and then notice how you chew each bite. After you finish eating, sit back and feel your breath moving in and out of your belly. And if you do this, notice the difference between hunger and fullness, and listen and feel for the digestion process. So physical. This is about connecting with the body. We're going to do this through some movement in the five senses. The reason we start with the physical body is because it's easier to access feeling something when we exert deliberate movement. Our bodies are meant to move. This is why we stand upright and walk on 2 feet. We are not meant to sit in chairs for long periods of time, but because of modern technology and our lifestyles, sitting has become our reality. Think about the last time you had trouble falling asleep. When trying to calm a distracted or anxious mindset, it can be easier to go for a walk. Some people call this clearing their head. Rocking is another example of movement to help regulate the mindset. The next time you can't sleep, you may want to try rocking back and forth along your spine in your bed just for a minute. Some find it very soothing. If you're in a situation where you can't go for a walk or make big movements, you may try rhythmic movements that mimic walking, and we're going to practice this as an example. So for the first physical practice, if you're seated in a chair, I invite you to place your hands on your legs and then slide your hands back so that your elbows are in line under your shoulders. If you're looking at the screen right now, you can just avert your eyes maybe to the floor with a soft gaze, or you could even close your eyes if it feels safe for you when you want to try that. So sitting in your chair, begin to feel the weight of your body being supported in the chair. With your eyes either softly open or closed, notice any areas of softness around your eyes, your nose, your jaw, your face, and even in your mouth. Notice any sensations around your head or your shoulders. Now, as you breathe in, feel the length of your spine. out, as you breathe out, feel the rooting of your feet on the floor. And begin to press into your right foot, the heel and the ball of the right foot. Release that pressing, and then press into the left foot, the heel and the ball of the foot. With both feet on the floor, lift your right toes and spread them either inside your shoes or your socks. If you're not wearing shoes or socks, feel the air between your toes. Lower your right toes and then lift and spread your left toes. Wiggle your toes around inside your sock, shoe, the air. Now press your right foot down as if you could imprint your foot into the floor. As you press down into the heel, notice the sensations through your calf and your thigh muscles of your leg. As the right foot is still pressing into the floor, lift the left foot off the floor any amount. Notice the right side waist. Release the left foot to the floor. Press the left foot in and down as you did on the right side. Notice the sensations through the left calf and the left thigh muscles. As the left foot presses down, lift the right foot any amount. And place both feet down. Now place your hands on your hips. Extend your elbows out to the side. Notice how the position of the hands and elbows sends more grounding into the legs and feet. We call this superhero pose, and it works great if you're standing too. And now we're ready to begin the walking part. Begin by pressing down into one foot and lifting the other foot. Just a couple inches off the floor is all you need. And then alternate sides. Do this in slow motion. So as you inhale, lift a foot. As you exhale, lower the foot. Allow your breath to lead the movement. This is going to require that you connect with your breath. And you're going back and forth from side to side, just like you do when you're walking. Notice each time your foot hits the floor. Notice each time your foot raises up off the floor. So you've done this a few times on each side. And go ahead and release your hands back to your legs. Pause. Notice any sensations throughout your lower body. If you feel like adding a little more to this movement, you can do this again. This time, so take your hands back to your hips, elbows out to the side. This time, as you lift one foot up, try folding the knee to your waist and give it a soft squeeze. So if you're doing this at your desk or your table, you might want to scoot yourself back away from the table. As you exhale, release the foot back to the floor. And as you inhale, switch sides. The squeeze and soak movement is especially beneficial to the gut and cleansing all the organs. So keep alternating from side to side, allowing each in-breath to be the squeeze part, and each out-breath to be the release part. I'm doing this with you just so you know. It really does work. After a few times on each side, let the body come to stillness, but stay connected to your breath. This movement can also be done while you're lying down in bed. You would squeeze your thigh to your waist and release on the exhale. So here in this moment, just ask yourself what you notice in your belly. And can you notice a balance of strength and relaxation in the lower body? So when you're ready, you can either jot something down about your experience with that, something that you might want to remember to do on your own at another time. You might want to jot down just a feeling, any sensations, anything that comes to you. We can also use the five senses as a means to go within. So now we're going to practice a lemon meditation. Obviously, if you don't have a lemon, you can still do this. And then the next time you do have a lemon or some other fruit of choice, you can see what happens. So this time, sitting in your chair, both feet on the floor, knees underneath the feet. Begin by finding an upright, tall spine. It doesn't have to be a stiff spine, but just lengthened and light. Create some length in the back of your neck and up through the crown of your head. Place your right palm up inside your left palm. Allow the thumbs to touch. And then bring your palms to rest in your lap just below your navel. Feel how the fingers are resting together. Notice the touch of the thumbs to each other. Now just imagine that you have a lemon in your right palm. Just imagine that you're slightly squeezing the lemon and ask yourself, is it firm, is it soft, or is it somewhere in the middle? If you do practice with a real lemon, bring it up to your nose and inhale. If you are practicing this in your mind, just recall the sense of a lemon. Slightly extend your inhale and exhale. Still sitting tall in your seat, now begin to imagine that you have a slice of lemon. What's the color of the lemon slice? Is it a bright hue? Is it slightly pale? Can you smell the juice of the lemon? Can you imagine the other hands that have held this lemon? The grower, the picker, the packer, the shipper, the grocer, all these hands that have brought this lemon to this point and now to you. Now imagine taking the lemon slice to your lips. Is your mouth starting to salivate? What are your taste buds communicating? Now imagine the lemon on your tongue. What do you notice? Can you allow the taste to linger in your mouth? Is it sweet, sour? What happens in your gums and your teeth as you bite into the lemon? What happens as you begin to chew the lemon? Now imagine swallowing the lemon and return the peel to your plate. Can you feel the lemon as it travels down your body and into your belly? With your palms resting just below your navel, turn your hands to feel your belly as it's breathing in and out. And if your eyes have been closed, I invite you to just softly blink them open, maybe take in the color of the room. And let some light come to your eyes. And bring you back into the space. And again, if something stood out for you during that experiment, you might want to take a minute just to jot down any notes. The next layer of wellness we're going to look at is the mental layer. So mindfulness is a word that can seem confusing or intimidating because sometimes people think it means turning off the mind. I prefer to think of it as moving between and then eventually beyond thoughts to find clarity and rest and freedom. I like the way Rolf Gates describes this. He says, mindfulness is the ability to see things as they are, free from the filter of our conditioning. It is this crucial capacity that creates the space in which loving kindness and compassion are possible. The cultivation of mindfulness allows us to break free from the multidimensional influences of our time and our place in the world, our family, our history, our cultural biases, our personal and professional experiences, and to begin to see what is true about ourselves and our world. So the next practice that we're going to take is a breath meditation. And rather than thinking of meditation as a practice in emptying or clearing your mind, because that's really difficult, try focusing on the breath and be open to whatever happens. Just keep coming back to your breath. So at this point, if you want to practice the breath meditation, you'll place your hands on your belly at your navel center and allow the elbows to rest at your sides. In this practice, there's no wrong way to breathe, so just allow yourself to drop in and connect with the sensations, your felt experience that shows up. Allow your body to be comfortable. And if possible, allow your belly to be soft. When you breathe in, just notice that your body is inhaling. When you breathe out, notice that your body is exhaling. With your hands on your belly, notice as you breathe in, the hands will slightly move out, or if you're lying down, the hands will move up. And as you breathe out, notice that the hands will move slightly in or down. There's nothing you need to do to make happen. It's really a practice of connection with what is. Notice the air as it enters your nostrils. Feel the coolness of the breath on the inhale. Feel the warmth of the breath on the exhale. If you're seated in front of a desk or a table, I'm going to invite you to use that as a prop. So to do this, start by scooting yourself away from your desk or your chair. So you're going to scoot yourself back slightly away from the table, and you'll stack your forearms one on top of the other, if you're making yourself into a genie, and then you're going to rest your forehead onto your folded arms, resting on your desk. If you feel any strain at the back of your neck, come up and look for a large book or a stack of papers, and then try again. Allow the forehead skin to be soft, and allow your eyes to rest deeply into their sockets. Notice the length at the back of your neck and the width of your shoulders. Feel the broadness of the breath as you inhale and how it fills the sides and the back of the body. how this broadness is met with a softness in the front body. Sensing both qualities of broadness and suppleness balanced together. Keeping your body in the forward fold. Your head is still on your folded arms on your desk. Start to think about coming out by first blinking your eyes open a few times and just take in the light of the desk or maybe your lap. Just take in some light. And then when you feel ready, you're going to press your forearms and lengthen the back of the neck to bring you up rather than allowing the chin to shut out. The small nuances in how you move out of a resting posture are very important to maintain the relaxation effect. When you're back upright, make some small movements with your hands to release any tension that may have accumulated. And bring yourself back to the space where you are and notice any shift in how you're feeling. And if you feel like jotting a note to yourself, something that you experienced, you might want to take a minute to do that now. That's one of those things you could do just for a minute, maybe, if you have an opportunity to rest your head on a desk or a table. Just if you can close the door and turn off lights. So this next slide is the energetic level. So this is about touching into the essence, and sometimes other words would include soul or spirit or a higher sense of self. In urban Zen, we use Reiki as a technique. In yoga, you might have heard of prana. In Chinese medicine, it's known as qi. This layer is the deepest, and sometimes for beginners, it's the most abstract. One way to make it more accessible is to think of a time when you entered a room and felt that there was an awkward conversation that just occurred, or a time when you felt like someone was behind you, but you couldn't actually see them. These are times when your energy felt the presence of the moment, even when no words were exchanged. When we settle the physical and mental layers, we're in a state that's more open to sensing a deeper state of being. So now we're going to taste energy using our hands as the tool. So the energy practice, again, you'll be seated. So as you're ready, settle into your seat. Feel your feet on the floor. Begin to soften your face. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. Feel or find any softness around your shoulders or your belly. Notice what it feels like to be in this moment. Now begin to bring your awareness into your hands. Bring your hands together and start to rub your hands together. So don't allow tension to form in your elbows. Just relax your elbows at your sides. Rub your hands back and forth using the friction to create some heat. After you have done this a few times and generated a little bit of heat, you can start to slow it down. And eventually bring that to stillness. Keep the base of the palms touching and the fingertips touching, but allow space between the base of the fingers. If you feel safe doing so, keeping the eyes closed, slightly pull your hands apart from each other, still keeping them very, very close to each other. So maybe like you could slip in a piece of paper between your two hands. So they're still very, very close to each other. And just notice if you feel maybe the heat in the opposite hand, any kind of tingling. You might feel as if the fingers are even still touching each other. Try pulling the hands apart just a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit more. Sense into that space between your hands. What do you sense? You continue to play just with moving your hands closer to each other and then pulling them apart, closer to each other, pulling them apart. If this is new for you and maybe it's not making sense, don't worry about it. Just something to consider, just an idea to play with. When you're ready, bring your palms to touch again. If your eyes were closed, softly blink them open. Again, if you felt a word or phrase or feeling that you want to jot down on your own, take a minute to do that. So the next slide is about self-care, and this is how to live your calling. We need some self-care so that we can continue to do all the things that we do. These practices that we've explored here can be folded into your daily lifestyle and made into habits. These are simple tools that you can access at any time, and you don't need to schedule anything. The lemon meditation, for example, that can be practiced with any fruit you like. Then it could be extended into the whole cooking process. It's all about being in the present moment. When you consistently practice self-care techniques, such as the ones here, and when things get stressful, as they will, as long as you aren't in real danger, you will be more likely to use your skills to reduce the intensity of the stressful situation and move through it without shutting down or blowing up. And this feels very empowering to know that you have the skills to meet your own needs. So now we're going to practice a few upper body movements for times when you need a little energy boost. So if you have some peppermint or citrus with you, you might want to smell that now, or if it's citrus, you might want to taste that now. It's an excellent way to give the brain a little pick-me-up. So for the upper body movements, you can do this seated or standing. You're going to start with your arms at your sides. You're going to rotate your palms outward so that your thumbs point away from the body. So as you rotate your thumbs away from your body, just pause first and notice the spaciousness around your chest, shoulders, and back. On your inhale, extend the arms out to your sides, reaching wide. And reach your arms up any amount that feels comfortable for you. And if your shoulders are tight, then bring your arm movement forward as they go up. So there's no one way to do this. Just do what feels good in your body. When your arms have extended to your maximum, pause there and notice the length through your spine and the width through your waist. Now interlace your fingers. Roll your fingers so that your palms are facing upwards, but keep a slight bend in your elbows. And feel the opening through your wrists and forearms and hands. If you sit at a desk, do a lot of typing, or even if you drive a lot, this is a great thing to do for those little muscles in our hands and our forearms. And release the fingers. Exhale and extend the arms back to your sides. As you do this, push the old air out. Any sluggish energy, just push it down and away from you. And at the bottom of the exhale, pause for a beat. When you're ready to inhale, repeat by first rotating your palms outward. Enjoy reaching your arms out to the sides and then upward, using some lightness feeling that freedom in your body. And this time when your arms reach to their maximum point, take hold of one wrist and lean over to the opposite side. As you inhale, come back up to center, hold the other wrist with the opposite hand and lean the other way. Inhale back up to center, then exhale, push out the old air. You can even open your mouth as you do this. And then practice this once more on each side, allowing your breath to lead the movement in a way that the rhythm feels right for you. You could either interlace the fingers again, or you could hold on to one wrist and do the side stretch again. When you're finished, shake out your arms, your hands, roll your shoulders, relax your arms by your sides. Notice any difference in your energy. So this next slide are some links to more practices with me on YouTube. There's some examples here, restorative cobbler's pose, leg movements for anxiety. So we just did a little bit here. These are longer sessions where you can do more upper body movements for more energy. If you are interested in these videos, let me know, send a comment. I can take requests if you have any questions. And if you want to reach out to me by email, my email address is available there. And then lastly, these are my references, resources, and a few teachers. I don't have enough room on one slide to name all the amazing teachers that I've learned from and practiced with over the years. I've been doing this for a long time, and I believe it is my life's work to share this with everyone. So this list is just a few of the people and the resources. I'm happy to offer more upon request. I wanted to give special consideration to Mary Vicario and the way she explains the brain using her hand. So please check that out as well. Thank you for participating in this, and you have my email if you have any questions.